Sydney's Place. Act 1, Scene 1. Lights up on a residential upper middle class home. There are two bookcases on either side of the stage. One, stage right, is filled with knickknacks, while the other is completely stocked with books. Upstage right, there is a large window adorned with curtains. A fully furnished living room. We can hear a woman humming to herself. And for a few moments, a young Sydney walks in stage right, exhausted in his work uniform. He sighs and leans against a wall. Sydney begins to take off his jacket and walk across the stage to look out a window. He sits there for a while and enjoys the moment. When he catches on to someone humming, Sydney playfully sings alongside his mother, and she joins him in as she walks in stage left, holding a ladle.
They're going to fire me.
No, you need to try harder in order for them to like you, but not like you,
I know.
because they love you the way that you are,
I get it, Mom.
no matter what. If you work harder, you'll succeed.
I can't just work harder. I work hard enough. They just want a robot, just like them. Hey, can I take your order? No, it's not a problem that you spilled ice cream all over the stand. We've been closed 10 minutes and you want us to turn our ice cream machine back on. Absolutely.
You have to be nicer to the customers.
I'm okay with being nice to them. I just feel weird treating them like children.
You get used to it.
There are better ways than getting used to it.
What do you mean?
I don't know, changing policies or something?
If you want to change things, you can, but you need to understand that sometimes you have to do things that you're afraid of. Sometimes you may think that you're doing something you don't like and find you love doing it. Sometimes you have to do things you just don't want to do. We've all worked jobs we don't like. Working at Ice Cream Dream isn't the last job you'll ever work.
I'm thinking of quitting. They're going to fire me anyway. They're sick of me.
Oh, and what are you going to do?
I've saved up enough money that I can start a
Start a
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Are you sure you're ready to run a restaurant?
I've worked at Ice Cream Dream for a really long time, and I just,
That doesn't mean that you can run a business. You don't know the first thing about it. It takes time to get what you want, time and effort. It's all about treating people like adults.
but I just,
It takes a lot of experience with customers, budgets, negotiations. Kindness and respect will only get you so far. You need to learn responsibility and focus before you dive into the stress of a business.
I'm just trying to say that
People skills aren't going to get you there until you understand how to work for someone. It's arrogant for you to think simply working for yourself will make everything better. You need to see the bigger picture before you let your passions get the best of you.
Mom, I'm going to have 20,000 by the end of the summer. I've been scoping out the area. I should have enough to cover rent. I'm going to do this, and it's going to work.
Climbing the corporate ladder is infuriating. You think you can build the ladder without having climbed it? I didn't get to be in charge of.
The editing department by walking in and demanding.
Yeah, because life doesn't work like that.
It was important for you to be an assistant before you could lead, to be a desk clerk before you could delegate. I want to treat people as adults, but no one can truly respect someone they serve arrogantly. Isn't that how it goes, Mom? Why don't we jump to the part where everything's worth having takes time and effort? Talk about how there are steps, and a restaurant is no exception. Or perhaps how it took you 10 whole years of service just to see the inside of an office.
Sydney goes to leave and is stopped by his mother's grasp.
I don't want to change your dreams. I want you to be everything you want to be. I just know how hard it can be for people like us in business. People who are different than the average businessman. We need fight. I don't see that fight in you.
If you can do it, why can't I?
Deborah pauses and calms.
It's just different for people like us, people like you.
The front door closes stage right, and Wyatt takes off his shoes.
Hey, Sydney, you busy?
No, we were just talking.
Let's do something then.
We were just about to eat.
But you're welcome to join us.
Ah, thanks.
Wyatt sits down at the table.
Your mom said you were going off to be a programmer?
Yeah, computer science in the fall.
Congratulations. How long is the program?
3 years. It's gonna take a while.
Good for you.
I'm excited to learn web design.
Simon enters stage right and takes off his shoes.
I'm not feeling up for cooking tonight. Who wants to order pizza?
Sydney realizes that Deborah has left the stove unattended and rushes to take over.
Oh, we're already making food.
I guess we're setting the table then.
Deborah and Simon begin to set the table around Wyatt. They start humming the song from earlier and get at some point. Deborah and Simon get close to each other while setting the table. They accidentally touch and they start dancing with each other. Wyatt starts to look around awkwardly. As the little dance comes to an end, Wyatt coughs nervously. Sydney walks back in holding the meal while the parents finish setting up the table. They all sit at the table together.
Work ran late today?
Yeah. We had a bunch of customers come in right after we closed and made a huge mess.
How'd they get in if you're closed?
Classic breaking and entering. Wyatt pressured me into it.
I had no choice. They seemed hungry.
I just wish they didn't leave such a mess.
Well, at least that job isn't forever.
Exactly. Soon I'll quit.
Yeah, or get fired.
Right. Or get fired.
Thought about what you're going to do after? Maybe study something?
Going to school for programming.
That's what Deborah was saying. Maybe you should take Sydney with you.
I've thought about school, but I'm not so close to having enough money for my restaurant.
Don't you think that money could be better spent elsewhere? I know you think it's below you, but the world is changing. It's getting harder and harder to make it out there. Look at Wyatt. He gets it. You should reconsider furthering your studies. You'll need to make sure you're ready and mature enough for this. College helped me not just figure out what I wanted to do with my career, but also my life. I didn't even realize how ignorant I was to who I am back then.
Dad, I get it. I just don't feel like I need it. I got my plans, I got my budget, and I'm ready.
You're scared. It makes you jump into things before you really know what's best for you. College can help you figure out where you want to take your life. Sometimes it takes a push to figure out what we want in life to be. Push us in the right direction. For us, it helped me see things never thought were things I wasn't seeing.
I know what I'm doing. I've been talking with lots of people.
You have no idea what the real world is like, Sydney. You need to have your life on track. Have everything in order before you try to start a business, so that...
Get my life in order? I know who I am. I spent years getting everything in order.
You're a grown adult living with your parents.
Simon.
You can't just turn your whole life around and expect to be treated like an adult.
Simon.
I'm sorry, but you need to stop making changes in your life and start selling into something stable.
She's fine. I mean,
A business is stable.
Nothing about you is stable.
We just want you to be happy with your choices and have no regrets when you look back at these moments in your life. Just going to school won't be the end of the world.
A change like that would be good for you.
Sydney looks to Deborah. Deborah looks down at her plate. Simon is staring down Sydney.
If you want me to change, then I don't want to be here.
Sydney gets up in a huff and walks out, stage left. Wyatt, looking uncomfortable, grabs Sydney's jacket and follows him out. Simon and Deborah hold each other as they look out as Sydney and Wyatt both leave. End of Act 1. Ready?
Yep.
Act 1, Scene 2. Sydney enters the stage, followed by Wyatt. Suddenly, Wyatt points at the ground.
Pick up that coin.
Sydney looks to where Wyatt is pointing.
Seriously? I have nowhere to go, and you're concerned about a penny on the ground?
You always pick up a penny. It's good luck. You're going to need all the luck you can get right now.
I appreciate your worry.
Sydney picks the penny up and hands it to Wyatt.
Was it heads?
I don't know, I didn't look.
It's only good luck if it was heads.
Then we'll just say it was heads.
You'll need to put it down for the next guy to find, but leave it on heads so that it's good luck.
Sydney places the coin where he found it, heads up. Just as he gets up, Wyatt leans down and picks up the coin.
Heads!
Sydney chuckles slightly.
No one says I can't be the next guy. And now, it's definitely good luck.
You can have it. You're the one going off to college. I've seen your grades. You're going to need all the help you can get. Plus, I have way too many pennies in... Shoot, we got to go back. I forgot my wallet.
You mean the one you keep in your jacket while you're working?
Yeah, that wallet.
Sydney pulls a wallet out of the jacket and puts the jacket on, then places the wallet in his pants pocket.
You know, I think you'll make a great restaurant.
Thanks. Wish you could be here to see me open it.
You'll do fine without me. I'm the one who'll be living off of coffee and mac and cheese in a few weeks.
You make college seem terrifying. Terrifying.
College isn't even the scariest part. My parents have been fighting me because I'm going to school in Alberta.
What's wrong with Alberta?
Mom doesn't want me to get too far away from home, and Dad is hoping I'll be able to get a factory job during the summer here in town. Thought I might get a summer job while I'm out west.
You're going to stay out there all year? What am I going to do for the 3 years you're gone?
I'm more concerned with what you're going to do now. Do you have a plan?
Sydney is silent.
What are you going to do about your stuff at home?
I don't think I really need any of it. It'll be a fresh start.
I can have you stay at my place, but only until I leave for school.
I'll ask around and find someone else to stay with.
Sid, are you going to be all right?
Something great is about to happen. I just need to keep running towards it.
Sounds like it's worth reaching for.
I think so.
In that case, go for what you need to go for.
What I need to go for is food. I'm starving.
Me too. I haven't had a chance to eat much today.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's go and grab a pizza.
Look at you, following your dreams.
Sydney goes to give Wyatt some money from his own wallet, and Wyatt waves him off.
It's my treat.
Blackout. Act 1, Scene 3. An older-looking Sydney is gathering plates in the back, humming to himself in the dim stage light. Lights up. Sydney then sets the tables. Door opens.
Hello?
Oh, sorry, we're not open yet.
Sydney walks over to the door and puts a close sign in the window.
Oh, I'm only in town for a little while. I just peeked through the window and was wondering if I could grab something to eat quickly.
But I'm sure I can grab you something?
Thanks, I'm starving.
Well, in that case, I guess I'd better get to work. Can I get you anything to drink?
customer follows Sydney as he guides him to a table and sits him down with a menu.
Thank you so much. I understand how rude this must seem. A water's fine.
Not at all. I am the one who forgot to lock the doors and put up the close sign.
Sydney walks over to the busboy station to grab cutlery and a menu.
And well, it's actually an excellent surprise. If only there were more people out there like you trying to break down the doors.
As Sydney returns to the table with cutlery and a menu,
Do you advertise?
Yes.
Sydney goes to give the customer an advertisement card.
There's an ad on the website. We have it playing on TV, but pretty late at night. And we're hoping to look into delivery options soon.
I really hope you consider it.
Sydney leaves to grab water from the kitchen tap. We see the customer trying to buy time. From the kitchen, we hear a conversation between Sydney and Wyatt.
How's it going back there?
Running smoothly.
We hear the tap running.
Do we have any ice made?
I threw some in yesterday.
Sydney peeks his head around the doorframe.
Would you like ice?
Sure.
Sydney goes back to the sink. We hear him add ice to the drink.
Wait, is somebody out there?
Yeah. What can we make?
Not much. The oven hasn't even warmed up yet.
Sandwiches?
I could do sandwiches.
Sydney peeks around the doorframe again and goes to speak.
I'm thinking I'll have a ham and Swiss. Hold the lettuce.
Sydney smiles and ducks back into the kitchen.
He wanted a sandwich anyway. Ham and Swiss, no lettuce.
Swiss?
What?
Rick's bringing the Swiss.
What kind of cheese do we have?
I brought in the cheddar, Havarti, and mozzarella.
Sydney leans back out.
Actually, can I change the Swiss to cheddar?
Sydney looks at the customer, a little surprised that he changed his mind without provocation.
Right away.
Sydney comes back into the kitchen.
He's okay with cheddar. I wish we had more options, though.
The customer appreciates the comment.
No need to worry. I'm sure he understands. We aren't even open.
This is his first impression.
He's already disappointed. There's nowhere to go but up.
You better make him one hell of a sandwich.
Well then, cut these.
Wyatt tosses Sydney tomatoes, lettuce, and cucumbers, and Sydney begins chopping.
I'll get to the lettuce after.
He sets the lettuce aside.
I messed up on the headers on the website.
Again? I said I would help you. Your ability to keep messing up that script is amazing.
I want to do it myself. Don't want you to go on vacation and get stuck with a broken website.
Look, I can come over tonight and we'll walk through the changes I make. That way, if it ever breaks, you'll know how to fix it. Or at the very least, you can always revert it back to the stable code.
Conversation trails of topic into playfully lighthearted small talk for about a minute. Enter Rick, carrying a Swiss cheese to cue ending of improvised dialogue. Sydney leaves the kitchen carrying a sandwich.
Oh,
Meet our newest customer.
I'm so sorry. I didn't expect to see any customers here yet.
Sydney takes the box of cheese.
Enjoy your meal.
The customer is surprised but smiles kindly at Rick as they begin to eat. Sydney and Rick enter the kitchen.
I can't believe we got a customer already.
Sydney, Rick, and Wyatt lean against the wall in the doorway to the kitchen.
I think we're all a little surprised. Do you think they're enjoying it?
All look at the customer. The customer is chewing with a neutral face, and then his expression changes.
Face changed.
Their conversations begin to overlap.
Yeah.
They hate it.
What? Sydney must have ruined the tomatoes.
Maybe.
You can't mess up cutting tomatoes.
I make a great sandwich.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
The customer looks confused.
You shouldn't have let them in.
What did you expect me to do? I couldn't just turn them away.
We serve them a Swissless ham sandwich. We're monsters.
It's not my fault we didn't have any Swiss.
Don't get angry at me for showing up on time.
I'm not getting mad at you.
Maybe the cucumbers are too thick.
Or the lettuce might be too crisp.
We forgot the lettuce.
Great first impression.
No Swiss and no lettuce.
You told me you would chop the lettuce.
Such a simple sandwich and you messed it up.
Can't believe this.
We'd have been better off with an empty plate.
The customer finishes his sandwich and smiles.
There, I knew they'd love it. I make a great sandwich.
You think it's creepy we watch them eat?
Yeah, it's a bit creepy.
Sydney panics and babbles, trying to apologize until the customer interrupts.
No need to worry.
Oh.
You make a great sandwich. Just keep in mind that the sound carries in here and quit worrying. People will tell you if they don't like it. You don't need to guess.
Thank you. I'll get your bill.
No need to rush them.
The bill would be lovely. Thanks.
Absolutely.
We should start the ovens.
Wyatt and Rick exit to the kitchen, and Wyatt starts turning on the ovens.
If we had baked some pie, we would have offered some. Otherwise, the dessert menu is just tap water.
When do you officially open?
Not for another hour.
Then you've already been more than hospitable.
We do what we can.
Rick returns with the bill.
You need the machine?
The customer pulls out a wallet and a 10.
Suppose not.
Keep the change. I wish you all the best.
They say their goodbyes as the customer leaves. Each person rushes around the restaurant, completing small tasks. One of them cleans off a used table. Another takes chairs down from tables. They go in and out of the kitchen for different amounts of time, until they all eventually meet in the front of the door.
Everyone ready?
Sydney can do the honors.
Sydney goes up to the sign and flips it to open. They all smile at each other as the lights dim. Blackout. Act 1, Scene 4. Lights up on the restaurant. Sydney is sitting at an empty table with a stack of papers, writing down some notes. Char enters the restaurant.
Hi, I'm here for the interview.
You must be Charlie. Sydney Kipling. Have a seat.
They sit down.
Why would you be a good fit for Sydney's?
Well, I've been a waitress for the last 3 years. I have great interpersonal skills and always enter a work environment with an upbeat personality.
You don't need to try to impress me. All of that is in your resume. I want to know why you're a good fit, not what makes anyone a good fit.
Can I just have a moment to gather my thoughts?
Absolutely.
Well, I was technically a waitress at the inn, but I was expected to do a lot more than just wait tables. For a while, I worked in the kitchen, just making simple sides for complicated dishes. I also spent time moving stock and running small errands. I know a lot about the restaurant functions. And most importantly, I do care about the people I work with, and I will work hard to make them their best.
That's important. Have you ever had to deal with a customer trying to enter the restaurant late at night?
Don't we all?
What did you do?
These girls came downstairs from the inn bedrooms, clearly drunk, demanding food. I didn't want to serve them, but I knew how to start everything, and I wanted to make sure they were sobered up safely. I just threw something on and made sure to bring them a glass of water. It was worth it to hear them thank me at the end and to see them smile. The tips weren't bad either.
Sydney smiles softly.
So, safety is important to you?
I just want to make sure that everyone makes it home in one piece each day.
And how do you spend your time outside of work?
I volunteer with kids. I'm a tutor.
That should be in there.
I never found it relevant.
How do you mean? It's an example of your interpersonal skills. Shows that you value education, and people see that you're how you are outside of work. It's perfect for a resume. What do you teach them?
Generally, I help them with math, but anything else that I know I will assist them with. I'm flexible that way.
Are they young?
I volunteer at a high school, so it depends if you consider high school students young.
I'd always admired people who teach.
You should try it. I find it rewarding. Watching someone finally enjoy math for the first time because they see something they've been missing all along, it doesn't get much better than that.
Sydney looks over his shoulder to check the time. Char takes a quick look as well. They realize they've been talking far too long and have run a bit late.
Sorry, it seems we've been talking for a bit longer than expected. I'd best get back to work.
Of course, I would never want to keep you from your customers.
We'll be in touch, Charlie.
Please, call me Char.
Exit Char out of the main entrance and Sydney through the restaurant. Act 1, Scene 5. Lights fade in as Sydney enters from the back of the restaurant with a pot of coffee. He brings the coffee to customers at a table.
Hey, Sophia. How are we today? Usual decaf, 2 milk?
That would be lovely, thanks. I'm having a pretty great day. Jacob slept soundly last night. Oh, and thanks for getting the link to the top of your webpage. It's really helped me navigate your website. I think I'll have the number 3 today.
Glad the baby hasn't been giving you too much trouble. I'll be right back with your breakfast.
Sydney brings the coffee pot over to the counter and grabs some menus and brings them to another table with a baby in a high chair.
Hey there, little guy. How are you doing?
I'm sure he's doing great. He loves coming here. Glad you added the high chairs.
I couldn't just let Randy sit on the floor. I wouldn't want my boy stuck in a car seat at my feet.
You have kids?
No.
Char walks behind Sydney with a tray in hand on her way to another table. Sydney looks over at her as she walks by. Char catches his eyes and smiles.
But I've been thinking of starting a family of my own one day.
I wish you the best of luck. Can we get the kids' meal and a regular for me?
Absolutely. I'll get that right away.
Sydney takes back the menus and carries them to the table Char left dishes on and starts cleaning them up.
Hey, Sydney, I saw that you're closed on Sunday.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you'll need to find somewhere else to eat next week. Char and I are on our honeymoon all weekend. Won't be back until the following Monday.
Congratulations! You two enjoy yourself. You've earned some time off. Thanks again for making the washrooms accessible and the additions to the website.
Anytime. Let me know if you think of anything else besides transcriptions. It's been extremely helpful. We've been getting lots of attention for the accessibility features we've been adding. Our customers feeling welcome.
Sydney finishes cleaning up the table and brings the dishes back to the kitchen. Rick then comes out and walks up to a customer.
Party of 2?
Oh, where's Sydney? I wanted to tell him my design recommendations for his menus.
He's helping in the back today. We're getting a little overrun back there.
Well, can you give him this?
Customer gives Rick a letter.
Absolutely, and we have a spot available over there for you. Over here for you.
Rick guides them to a table.
All right, I'll give this to Sydney before I forget.
Rick walks back and comes to another table with menus.
Here you are.
Oh, what's with the new menus?
It's our new design direction.
It's a little difficult to find everything. Where's the beverage section?
Rick leans over, flips to a page, and points at the section.
Right here, and what can I grab for you?
One sec. Can I grab a tea?
Sure thing.
Rick turns to walk away, stops, and comes back.
Which kind of tea would you like?
Any black tea would be great, thanks.
All right.
Rick walks to the back. He comes back out with a debit machine and walks over to a new table.
And how do you enjoy everything today?
The bread was stale.
I'm sorry, I'll take the dessert off your bill.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
Yes?
There's a hair in my soup?
I'll get you a new one.
He takes the soup to the kitchen. Rick walks around the entire restaurant and fills his arms with plates that appear mostly untouched, while customers comment on their disappointment in the food, while Rick just nods back to them. Sydney walks back on stage from the back and is then left alone on stage, staring down a large pile of dirty dishes. We hear the clock start ticking as Sydney sighs, loosens his work posture and jacket, then grabs his keys and locks the front door as he exits stage right. Act 1, Scene 6. We open on the restaurant empty, chairs on the top of tables, with Char and Sydney sitting at the table that is covered in papers.
I've spoken to the landlord, and he's willing to extend our rent for us to cover the restaurant bills.
How long?
He's giving us a month.
We still owe Wyatt the money that he loaned us.
Okay, so we pay Wyatt and cover last month's utilities.
Char begins entering numbers in a calculator.
Plus stock.
Plus stock.
We need to get the internet back online.
Well, I can drop the internet at home and transfer it here.
How much does that leave for groceries?
Char reads from the calculator.
$50 a week if we want to pay our rent next month.
And could we get a loan?
The bank won't loan if we can't prove a steady income. You think Wyatt wouldn't give us another month?
It's been months.
I know.
I'm sorry I pulled you into this mess.
You never pulled me into anything. Sure, it's been a leap of faith, but we took it together.
Straight into a pit.
We're just going through a rough patch.
Rough patches don't last this long.
Char offers a hand to hold, and Sydney takes it.
We'll get through this.
And what if we don't?
Then we sort something else out.
What if we don't get through this?
I'm not going to leave you.
No one wants a man who can't provide for them.
None of that matters to me.
You'll think differently when we're both out of a job.
We can work anywhere.
Right, because everyone wants to hire a man like me. Helps them hit their diversity quota.
Is that what this is about? Because you're so much more than... The business isn't failing because you're trans. It's failing because you're giving up.
I'm not trying to give up.
But you are. This is the time when you knew every customer's name. You asked them about their lives. You used to care about this place, about the people in it. Now you refuse to leave your office.
I'm busy.
All you are is busy these days. You started this because you love being around customers, investing in them. Or have you forgotten that?
I'm just trying to keep us afloat.
That's the problem. A business doesn't thrive if it's just afloat. This place does not define you. Stop pulling away. I need you out front. Reconnect with the customers or let it die. Either way, I will support you. But I can't stand behind you and watch you die for this place.
I can't take a huge risk when we're struggling to make enough money to eat. We can't run a restaurant if we starve. I know you're trying to do what's best for me, but I can't see this working well for either of us.
I need you to do what makes you happy, whatever that may be. And I'm sure it isn't spending the day checking your numbers and balancing our books.
Fine, I'll do what I can. I'll work upstairs on Monday and see if that helps. But you're going to need to sort through everything if we're going to get through the rest of the month.
This will be good for you. For us. I'm sure you'll start feeling like your old self again.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Sydney and Char hold each other close as the lights go out. Blackout. End of Act 1.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We have more videos on the way. There's another video in front of you, so you can always take another peek.